Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sowing and Reaping YouTube channel. How you guys doing today? Just trying to get some last little things ready for this little video that I'm going to do here today in response, again, to Shanny's community post and to some of the nonsense that's been coming out of her mouth on her YouTube channel about yours truly and about other people on here like Just Breeze and Carrie and other people on here. And I think Shanny needs a bit of a reminder on why she's in the position that she's in today. And I think it's one thing when you hear it from spectators. It's another thing when you've been through it yourself and you know what how it feels and you know what it feels like to go through it. So since they're going to watch this, and they're probably going to comment on it later in some sneaky way on their channel. I'm going to keep my camera off today. The place ain't so clean today. So I'm going to keep the camera off. And at least I can admit that my background is not clean. And I don't feel like setting up the background and all of that and making sure I just don't feel like doing all that today. So let's say hello to the chat here real quick before we get started. This is going to be a little lengthy today. We got Sabella, Just Breezing is here. Twisted Skeptic is here. Mike Helm is here. Bug Love. Jojo is here. Boo is here. As a matter of fact, you know what I'll just do? I'll just do this. So Bella's here. Just Breezing's here. Twisted Skeptic's here. Mike's here. Bug Love is here. Boo is here. Twisted Skeptic. I don't really know who that is too much. We got a lot of people here. I don't even. Anyway, so we got Mozilla here, Gigi Allen. I gotta start getting used to these names. Canna Moose Wrestler here. JP is here. Chibli is here. I have no idea what that is. Okay, cool. We got Angry Roach. Let's get biblical. How you doing, bro? How's it going? We got Miss Murdoch here. We got Jojo here, and we got Saketh here. Yeah, how you doing, man? All right. So we are welcome to the Sowing and Reaping YouTube channel. In the background that you guys saw, and I'll let you guys see it one more time. That was the room that Shanny and Rev was staying in when they were living in that house. I'm going to talk about a few things here today regarding the evictions of when they evicted me and all the circumstances that was involved in it, and the evictions of Shanny, and just talk about the differences, and hopefully Shanny can learn a little bit of something about why our situations were totally different. And if anybody have any questions in the live chat, I will be taking a peek from time to time so that people can get a better understanding, at least from my perspective, on what it was like. I would love to hear Shanny make a YouTube video about it from her perspective, but I know all of you know that she's going to lie through her teeth when she talks. The only way you're going to hear any honesty if Rev decides to get angry and say something, you might get a little bit of honesty with that. But anyway, for those of you who don't know, and you may be new to my YouTube channel, Shanny for Christ, I'm sorry, not Shanny for Christ, Rev gave me a house. Jason, he gave me a house when he was worth almost $1 million, worth roughly about $700,000 in cash and stocks from an inheritance that he got from his mother. And he owned a couple of houses, and one of the houses he gave me. Until this very day, he has called that house a piece of garbage that he gave me. He also gave his uncle one of the houses that he had. So he just randomly just gave out like $400,000. You know, say, here, you want a house? You want a house? You know what I mean? But this is when he was almost rich. So I guess he could do that, I guess. Some stuff happened on YouTube where I was going back and forth with some people online. Shanny decided at first she wanted to give me the TV that you guys see in this background here. I'll let you guys see it again. But the TV turned into the entire house. Now, you guys got to understand, this happened about, 5 or 6, 7 years ago or whatever? 5 years ago, I think, that Shanny, I'm sorry, that Rev gave me that house. Now, I'm not going to play stupid. I did know that Rev was worth something. I just didn't know what he was worth. Every now and then I would hear it in Nadia's room, but I didn't know how much it was. But anyway, I don't want to talk about this too much because you guys heard this ad nauseum. So anyway, they gave me a house. I went over there, and y'all know the story. I went over there. There was ACs running for quite a while. They had a couple of signs on the door. I think I showed them on Drag's on his what do you call it? On his members only stream or whatever. And I think I showed people years ago the papers that was on the house that said that they was going to condemn it. So I called them and everything because I wanted to go up there and take a look at what they gave me. And Shanny told me I can go in there and stay there. Now Shanny's story has always been that I broke into the house, and that's about 10% true. What happened was, because you got to remember, I'm a black guy, and this is Scranton, and this is a predominantly, I'm telling you, within like a 5-block radius, you ain't gonna find no black person in this particular area because this is where all the rich people live, or the upper echelon of the people in that particular area. So I had to call to get permission, because if I would have tried to break that door in that neighborhood, I'd have found myself in prison, and only you would have knew about it. So I had to call him, and he let the neighbor know that I wanted to get in there, so that way when I broke the lock, I was able to get in. And like I said, I was going back and forth. I was getting dumpsters and throwing away a lot of that stuff, some of the stuff I kept. And I was preparing myself to be the new owner of the house without knowing laws, without knowing how to go about doing all of that stuff. Now, I'm skipping a lot of stuff, guys, because I don't feel the need to go into a lot of detail, because this is not what this video is really all about. I'm just giving some of you like a background or whatever, okay? So I get in the house, and you know what? My name is G-Man, okay? I have been doing what I've been doing on here for a very long time, okay? No, not for a long time. I think up until that point, maybe 6 years, I was on here just doing my thing or whatever. And I have been doing apologetics. I have been correcting people on the internet regarding false doctrine, regarding Christianity, going after atheists. But there was this, Shanny is very controlling. Shanny wanted me to pick up the phone every time she called me. She didn't like some of the videos that I made. Most of the videos they did like. And they attempted to control me because they gave me the house. They thought that by giving me the house. And by the way, I'm mentioning this too, because I'm going to say something in my diss track that you're all going to get to hear tomorrow. I recorded it today, but I don't have a microphone where I'm at right now. The microphone is at my place, but I'm not at my place right now. So until I get a condenser mic, I can't properly do it. If you heard the rap today, you'd have been like, wow, this is terrible. Y'all would have loved the disses, but y'all wouldn't have liked the sound quality. The sound quality was just terrible. I mean, it was bad. It was worse than that first 2-3 raps I did when I first got on YouTube. It was horrible. So anyway, long story short, I got kicked out of there because, well, actually, you know what? Maybe you should hear it directly from Shanny. Okay. Now there's a lot more details to it than this. She was being told things by people on the internet, and I think she believed it. But also, well, actually, I'll let you guys hear it for yourself, because it's always better if you hear why she kicked me out of that house, which is hilarious to this day. Let me do a quick screen share here real quick so you guys can see it. Hopefully you guys can be able to hear it too when I show you this. No, not that one. It's this one right here. Okay. Hopefully you guys will be able to hear this. I mean, let's keep it super real. You don't even know the laws when it comes to evictions.
G-Man, consider yourself evicted. You won't talk to me. You won't listen to me. You're continuing to do this fucking tirade. Consider yourself evicted. Get the fuck out of my house. Pack your shit and go.
So the reason why I was ultimately kicked out of that house was because I didn't want to talk to her on the phone. She accused me of stealing. And to this very day, she has not been able to prove that. She accused me of stealing. She didn't like the videos that I was making on YouTube. And according to her, she gave me money to pay my cell phone bill, but I used it to do something with Blog Talk Radio. Now I owe Blog Talk and I owed my cell phone bill. Her story is that I was on the phone crying and whining. How am I going to pay? That don't even sound like me. I wasn't even doing nothing like that. Not for $50. You got to be crazy. I can go on my own YouTube channel, and especially when I was doing the G podcast, because it was only like maybe season 1 to 3 or something like that. And I could easily got $50 from my audience. You know what I mean? Because it would have affected a little bit on how I did my things here on YouTube. But she got mad at me because I didn't pay the phone bill, but instead I decided to take care of the blog talk. And she called that me lying and not being honest with her. You guys seen on these archive channels where Rev says he doesn't like when people lie to him. Now, I want y'all to remember that as we go on. Apparently, according to Rev, he doesn't like it when people lie to him. He usually kicks them to the curb, which is not even true in of itself, but you'll understand as we go on with this. So she made this video that you guys saw, and she ultimately evicted me out of a house that they gave me in which no paperwork was signed or anything like that. Okay? Oh, yeah, Elaine. She loved the little bit of power she had over me. I will never allow that to happen again. Because if she ever does get that kind of power, I will strip that from her as fast as she gets it. She just don't know. So, yeah, and we're definitely going to get on after we get to these differences, why everything that's happening to Shanny, I believe that even my Lord and my Savior Jesus Christ approves of, to be perfectly honest. Beckel has said it on multiple occasions that that Shanny's getting what she deserved. You know what I mean? For everything that she's done on here. You know what I mean? Online. But anyway, let's get back to my eviction. So she kicks me out. And this is the part that's really important that you guys need to pay attention to. Obviously, I had a tirade, and I'm going to let you guys take a look at some of that. My yelling match with Shanny is all over the internet, where you guys can see me and her raising our voices at each other. I'm asking her who really gave me the house and why, because I came to the same conclusion that a lot of you guys are doing, in the sense that I think she just gave it to me to try to control me initially. And I was her backup plan after she spent all of Rev's money. And I think a lot of people can see that if you take a look. When we go through all of this, you'll understand what I mean by this. So me and her had this hangout on my channel. And I did this on my channel for a reason, publicly, for a reason, because I wanted my subscribers to know what situation I was in, why I was going to have to temporarily stop doing my G podcast and stop doing the things that I was doing. Okay. I believe one of the other reasons why God is punishing Shanny the way she's being punished right now is because a lot of people may not remember, but the last G podcast that I did, or the last Hebrew Israelite show I did before Shanny started calling the police, because that's what she was doing. She was calling the police and the sheriff's department, and they was coming over there all the time to try to throw me out. And each time the sheriff's department came over there, each time the police came over there, they said that she was going to have to leave Colorado, come down and file a civil suit against me to get me out of there. Okay, now, mind you, this is pretty embarrassing to me when all of this is happening, because I was on YouTube. Oh, my buddy gave me a house. Look at what Shanny did for me. Shanny loves me. She gave me a house, yada, yada, yada. Meanwhile, she's calling the police and the sheriff's department, and she's an extremely controlling woman. Do not listen to Rev if Rev tells you she's not controlling. She's very, very, very controlling. Now, mind you, she's also in Colorado and I'm in Pennsylvania at the time. I think a lot of you know my personality by now. I think a lot of you know what I would have did had she pulled this garbage if I was there in person. You know what I mean? So she would have never, ever, 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 ever pulled this mess face to face with me. Never in a million billion years. All right. But I'm gonna show you guys some of that stream where me and Shanny are yelling at each other for a little bit, and I want you guys to see for yourself how I handled it and why. And I'm gonna reveal why I did it on that channel, because I'm not a stupid person. I may not be Albert Einstein. I may not be I may not have like a 1 million IQ or whatever. You know what I mean? But I ain't no dummy. You know what I mean? When I was in that situation, I had no money. And, you know, because according to her, she gave me all these thousands of dollars and whatnot, right? Mm-hmm. So I had no money and I wasn't able to just up and leave. So I had to do a fundraiser. But before I did the fundraiser, I wanted everybody to see what I was going through. So let me show everybody this hangout and show everybody how I handled this on my channel real quick. for those of you who are new and never seen this before. I'm sure Dragnet probably covered this ad nauseum, but I want you all to see this here. Here we go. This is the video here. I want you guys to take a look at this real quick. Shout out to Godless Girl for putting this on her channel. So there was never.
Oh boy! Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of Preaching to the Choir Ministries. I know I said I'm not making another video today, but I just woke up, and Shanny for Christ made 3 different videos 1 minute ago. I just checked. One of them is "You're Threatening Me Now." The other one is "Rev Speaks for Shanny." And the other one is "I Got the Receipts," and she's talking about $200 and some other money that she sent for me and whatnot. I didn't want to do this publicly, so I'm gonna prove that Shanny's full of it in a moment. Number one, she did send me $200, but that was for something totally different. It had nothing to do with my phone. So I'm gonna have to do this publicly. See, the last time Shanny did something like this was when she was with.
Oh, and by the way, Sabella is asking me in the live chat, am I going to cover the fundraiser? I'm going to be covering a lot of stuff. So yeah, the fundraiser is definitely one of them. But I want people to see. Now, if you don't know when I'm sitting in that house, I'm sitting in the dining room. Behind me was all of the books that he gave me. The bookshelves is mine. Everything in the house is mine except for those boxes that you see behind me. All of those boxes contained savings bonds and all of his mother's letters and bills and receipts and important things that he needed, as well as his father's death certificate, his will, and all the paperwork that he needed to be able to do research to get any back money that is owed to him. All of this stuff is behind me. And I went through all of it because Shanny asked me to go through all of it. So let's continue.
And she was with her cheating ex-husband. What's his name? Chiefy the Odd or whatever his name was. Chiefy the Odd or whatever. I called them into my room, and that didn't last very long. And honestly and truthfully, if she comes in here, in about 7 minutes, this is going to be over. Now, I've had my Skype open all day today. She did not call. I'm going to probably screen share that a little bit later. But I've had my Skype on all day long. She did not call. We got the free calling on this. She didn't call that. So again, I'm accusing her of doing this because she wants to get attention for herself. All right. I got a couple of other things that I want to say about that too, but I'm going to wait till she gets in here when I can ask her direct questions because she's making a lot of accusations.
The reason why I don't feel the need that I have to interrupt this video all the time, because this video was originally on my channel before a Godless Girl got a copy of it and put it on her channel. So I don't feel the need that I have to stop and respond to a video that originally belonged to me. So I'm going to continue to play this.
That I'm going to slaughter her on when she comes in here. Now, if she had a point, I would just come in here and just make a video and just say, you want to know what? She's right. But unfortunately, I think she has a really bad memory. So like I said, if I have to, I'll cut my PayPal on and make it public for everybody to see and whatnot. And then, of course, I'm going to have to separate all of that from the... Anyway, I'll show everybody my thingy here and whatnot. So the last time she gave me money for my quote unquote phone was back in December. January, so this month, she gave me some money for some food. See, I got to talk about all this stuff in public because Shanny doesn't know how to keep personal information to herself.
That is a theme that you're going to notice about Shanny forever. Shanny does not know how to keep people's private life private. So a lot of you already know this. So again, I'm a very private person. And if I did end up in a relationship with Shanny and she pulled this garbage, I've told Shanny and read this on multiple occasions. I'm the kind of person that would pick up that computer and that laptop and toss it out the window and say, stop talking about me on YouTube. I'm not going to sit there and keep repeating it, or I would dump her on the spot. She will always have that hanging over her head if she pulled that mess with me. But again, she's all the way in Colorado and I'm over here in PA. So, she's free to just behave any way she wants. But I promise you this, as long as I've known her, she never behaved like this in my face, ever, and never will. And you guys see how she behaves in this video. So she knows better.
Although I'm tempted, I'm not going to do anything right now. See, I believe in waiting. I believe
Bella,
in making sure I got this.
It was you, Dragnut, and a whole bunch of other people told me not to take this place from them. And honestly, if I had a time machine, I think I wouldn't have. I really think I would have let them keep that place. I would have took the TV and then and left that house there. That's what I should have did, honestly.
Under control before I do anything, because I know what I can do when I'm ready to do it. So she says, threaten her. I'm gonna let you guys listen to all of this and what I just woke up to, because I was just asleep. All right. So Shanny, you need to get in here. All right. You've been ducking and dodging. See, here's the thing. If you were serious, I would have got a phone call from you. You would have called me on Skype. You would have tried to do something like that. But every time I tried to get in touch with you, you know,
this was a very different situation for me. A very different situation for me. Because normally when you don't pay your rent or something like that, you know what I mean? Now, mind you, I wasn't paying no rent or nothing like that here, and I wasn't required to pay no rent or nothing like that. The house was supposed to be given to me. You know what I mean? But normally when you go through an eviction, there's a process that you got to go through. Okay? I was new in this town. I didn't know anybody there. I wasn't even working yet. I was still looking for work. There was a lot of things going on. I was thinking a lot of times that the people that was living on the block were prejudiced. Now I know better. Some of them are, a lot of them are not. It's just, it was new for me. All of this was new for me. So I really didn't have a grasp on what I needed to do at this time, except for to get the heck out of there after I blacked out on her.
To call me on this phone or on Skype, and you chose not to do that. Instead, you're talking about me from a distance, which tells me you're doing this for attention. You're not serious about this. Okay? Let me show you the videos that you made, Shanny. All right? Just so that you'll understand. Okay? Now, you're telling me, see, here's the thing. Apparently, you're friends with this fake Jesus and whatnot. And that's what you're offended about. Okay? That's why you made the video for 3 years.
I'm a Christian. All right? So there was this guy named Jesus F or S Christ or whatever, and he was going on a skateboard giving people condoms, and he was going around saying he was Jesus and all this other stuff and whatnot. And that's my first time seeing the video. Now, I don't ask people permission to make response videos to anybody, nor did I know that Shanny was friends with this person. All I know is I felt like I needed to make a video response to this guy and to rebuke him. And Shanny got mad at me when I did that. And it told me a lot about her. Now, when I first moved in, I think I told you guys these things. They had a lot of occult books in there, like on witchcraft and spells and pagans. And I don't know if he was doing that stuff for research or if that's what they actually believe. But the more and more I listen to those two talk, the less and less and less I believe those two are Christians, and the more I believe those two are into witchcraft.
The ministry ruined. I downloaded that video. I'm going to play these videos so I don't got to download these. Here's the one right here saying I got the receipts. And I want you guys to listen to what she says in this video. And I can easily refute these. I'm not worried about that. But I need her to be in the room. So I can ask her 2 or 3 questions. If you guys have never seen me refute Shanny for Christ on my YouTube channel before.
The reason why Shanny came in the room acting the way that she was acting, Shanny doesn't like it when you ask her questions that can get her in trouble. So I want to warn everybody. Carrie, if she comes on your channel, just breezing, if she comes on your channel, if she ever comes on your channel and she's over talking you, she's evading and she's trying to avoid answering questions that can hold her accountable for the extremely poor decisions that she makes. Okay, so let's continue.
Go look at the past videos I got on here, because I can easily actually. Do I still have them on my channel? Or did I delete them?
I'm about to fast forward these and get to the good.
I'm not even sure. Anyway, let me let you guys listen to this video here.
I think this one's already on one of the archive channels.
You want to say I'm lying? Just know that I have.
Not only am I saying you're lying, Shanny, but I believe that you're a little confused as well. Again, you gave me $200 for food because I didn't have any food in here to eat. And it's a shame I got to talk about this in public. Okay? Because you keep going in public and talking about this, and you have yet to practice Matthew 17 or 18 and actually call me and talk to me about this.
Now, how is it that myself and Jason are saying the same things? How is it that myself, Jason, Chris are all saying the same things about how this woman can't keep your information private? How is it that everybody that's ever been close to this woman is all saying the same things? But Shanny don't do nothing to nobody. Yeah, right.
2 weeks ago, you got $200. 2 weeks before that, you got $300. Your phone should be on.
Okay, so let me see something. This is January. This is the end of.
Now, how is it that people who absolutely can't stand me, like Dragnut, Scientist Sam, Ms. Parker, BGT, how is it that everybody on here can see that this woman wanted my phone to be on so that she can control me, but that moronic Revelation News can't see that about her? I'm talking about people who loathe the ground I walk on, definitely during this time. I don't know about Miss Parker because I didn't know Miss Parker at the time, or BGTV. I knew Dragnet and I knew Scientist Sam and a few other people, but they couldn't stand me back then. How is it that they could see it back then? I didn't see it, obviously, because, you know, I'm an idiot. But, and I ain't got a problem with that, saying that, and I'll say it one more time. Sometimes I'm an idiot. But the point is that how is it that Drag can see it, Scientist Sam can see it, and all these other people on here who don't like me, and this is important because I'm going to get into this fundraiser that I did, all right? How is it that all of them can see this, but that moron Jason can't?
January, right? 2 weeks ago, she gave me money for food. That would be on the on the 14th. And 2 weeks before that, I got $100 for Christmas that she gave me for Christmas, and then she gave me $200 for food when I asked for it because I came here and I spent all of my money to update this place and whatnot. Now, remember what her claim is. Her claim is that I'm using her for money. That's her claim. So I want her to come in here so I can show her my PayPal.
Please understand is if you accept anything from Shanny, if she gives you $1 and you take it from her, she's going to accuse you of using her for money. I'm going to say this again. If Shanny gives you $1, if she gives you $1, she's entitled to control everything that goes on in your life. She has to know what you're doing all the time. All right. And by the way, when you guys hear this come out of my mouth, then you'll understand my videos that I make on this YouTube channel, because I want people to know that I got a bone to pick with Shanny. And like I said, we're going to get to that stuff. But if she gives you something, don't take it. Send it right back to her. Because if she gives you something, you know what I mean? She's going to feel entitled to basically own you pretty much.
Remind her about a couple of things. Then, like always, and I mean 100% of the time when she comes in here and she sees that she's wrong, then you guys see what I'm talking about. I believe that she's doing this for attention, and I'm going to prove it. So if she can stop playing with her video game and come in here, that'd be great. Saying me, I'm a real person here. I'm a real man here. All right, you're making a lot of claims here, Shanny, and I'm not the one running from you. You're running from me right now.
You guys can see the when she came in the room.
Wonderful fans. Let's take everybody into consideration. Here to stop with all those other people that I know are being direct.
Here we go. I'm just gonna fast forward.
Let me see something here.
And bring her in the room.
I can't let you guys see her phone number. Let me just.
That's when she called me and told me. See, she called me on the phone and told me to get off the stream, or I was gonna have to get out her house. She told me literally that I was gonna have to get off the stream, or she was gonna throw me out. Now she already made the eviction video at that time. Let me show you guys her in the room. Here we go.
Gee, man, I told you not to lie about me. Lie to me about money.
Let me talk, Shanny. Shanny, you gotta let me talk, Shanny. If you don't let me talk, you're guilty, Shanny. You're guilty, Shanny. You're guilty, Shanny.
Fucking a minute now.
So anyway, Shanny,
if you're watching this, Shanny, if you're watching this, Shanny, I don't know why you think this is attractive, Shanny. Like what substance were you smoking, weed, or drugs you were using? Who knows? What made you think that I was gonna want somebody as cuckoo as you after all of this?
Why don't you address about the phone?
People how this house looked when I first got here. I'm going to show people how this house looked when I first
you lie about it?
look, okay, you can
pay
say
for the
whatever you want.
phone.
All right.
When I gave you the money, you spent
Are you going to let me finish? Are you going to let me talk? Blah, 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 blah. Are you going to let me talk?
You're a liar.
I'm a liar. I haven't said nothing. You won't
You're a liar. You're a liar.
I want the Christians to come in here, and I want you guys to see how she's behaving right now. So
I don't care. You need to answer that question. What happened to the money that I gave you for the phone?
Unspoken. She won't even let me talk.
What happened with the money I gave you for the
Now, mind you, this is on my YouTube channel. I'm not on her channel. I can just mute her. But you know what they were saying to me back then when I did stuff like that? Oh, you know, G-Man's trying to be controlling and everything. So that's why sometimes I just get in I don't care mode and I'll mute and I'll boot. You know what I mean? But in this case, I wanted people to see that this woman was evading. And I wanted my main subscriber base to see what Shanny was doing. See, Shanny, in my opinion, is a complete and utter idiot. But I wanted people to see this. We'll get into why.
Keep talking.
Hey Shanny, if he used Hey Shanny, real quick. Can I say something? If he used that money for food, wouldn't that be better than turning his phone on? Which
No,
he said he
this,
used.
I want you to remember this now. This was over $50. $50. This woman's getting on YouTube claiming she's rich doing $1,500 hauls, going out there buying $1,000 worth of weed and all this other stuff and whatnot. And we was doing this over $50 of money that wasn't even hers on top of that. I want y'all to remember that now.
No, he asked me specifically crying on the phone asking for money for
You know, God was watching this too, because I'm gonna tell you guys what happened when they came in that house when their eviction happened. I'm gonna tell you what happened because they got exactly what they deserved.
On the phone. I was not crying on the phone, and I got witnesses to show you that. No, I was not crying on the phone.
Like all the rest of them fucking liars here.
So anyway,
But Shanny, if he using
Robert, Shanny, you be quiet, Shanny, you be quiet. This is how they win debates on you. Blah 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 blah.
I heard her. She said she was going to cut off the electricity. Now I didn't know the laws back then. I swear I wish I knew what I knew now. I swear I wish I knew what I knew now. Because what she doesn't understand is if you cut the electricity off and the water off, and you got somebody living there, then the squatters issue can happen. Especially if everything turns out to be in my name at that particular point. If she cuts the electricity off and she cuts the water off, I can squat at that point. And what do you think she did? She cut the water off and she cut the electricity off like an idiot. So let's continue.
Let nobody say anything. Come on.
I said I wasn't going to speak to you.
I can't answer a question if you're talking, Shanny.
Answer my question. What
I
did you
can't answer a question if you're talking, Shanny. I can't answer a question if you're talking.
Over $50. I was receiving more in donations during the G podcast than this $50 that she was talking about. You understand what I mean? I was receiving more in donations during the G podcast than this $50 nonsense that I was going through here with her.
What did you do with the money?
Okay, so
What did you do with my money?
Let's start from December and let's see if you can catch up this time.
What did I do with her money? She gave me a house. She gave Hannah Stout money. She gave Brett Keene money. She gave her mother money. Meanwhile, her man is wet-brained. And I hope Rev is paying attention to this. Because it was never your money, Jason. It was her money. It was her stuff. And I'm going to prove it. Because that's how she presented it when you had wet brain. All of that stuff kind of changed a little bit when you started getting back to normal. And we both know, Jason, that I'm telling the truth about this.
Okay? You gave me $100 for Christmas. And before that, you gave me $200 for food. Okay?
No.
January, we're not in January yet. Shut
You're
up.
liar.
Blah, 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 blah. Come on, Shanny. Keep talking. Keep talking, Shanny.
You'll notice that in the future, Shanny actually shows the Cash App history that came out to a whopping $1,500, if I'm not mistaken. She never showed proof for more than that. All these thousands of dollars that they claim they gave me. Bunch of malarkey.
Okay. Then January got here.
And Dragnut, if you're watching this, Dragnut, they told me that that they gave you close to 22,000, Dragnut. I don't know if you're watching this, but they told me that they gave you close to 22,000. I was getting numbers for all kinds of people. Hannah Stout, Brett Keane, you. Shanny even got to the point that she wanted to show me all of these cats. I was like, I don't want to look at that.
You gave me $200 for food. All right. You gave
2
me
weeks ago.
Let me finish.
2 weeks ago.
Annie, you gotta let me finish. If we was in court, the judge would throw you in jail because
We're not in court, so shove it up your ass.
Let me talk, okay? Because I'm gonna bring my proof. I already know what I'm talking about.
I don't give a shit what your proof is. You're a liar.
I have two phones. I have the ministry phone.
And you want to know what was really dumb about this? And I think I mentioned this in videos. I had everything in that house. I had this man's driver's license, social security card. I had Shanny's personal. I had this woman's drawers. I had everything in that house. It was like Shanny was trying to like bully me when all I had to do was get a camera and just started taking pictures and showing everybody what was going on in there. But a lot of that I didn't do. If I wanted to be petty, like the way people are being petty today, I could have destroyed Shanny a very long time ago.
I have my regular phone. My other phone, the battery is dead in the other room. The first $55 that she gave me, I used that to pay my normal phone bill.
And why is it on?
Gave me another.
Why isn't it on anymore?
Let me finish.
Why isn't it on anymore?
Oh my God, let me finish.
I'm trying to reason with a crackhead. So anyway, let's get out of this here real quick. So on my main channel, I primarily deal with religious debate over there on my main account. I predominantly deal with apologetics and religious debate on my main G-Man channel. On that channel, I have a mixed bunch. I have atheists subscribed to the channel. I have Christians subscribed to the channel. Satanists subscribed to the channel. Catholics subscribed to my channel. I have a lot of different kind of people subscribe to that channel. And some of the people on there like me, and a lot of people on there don't like me. And it's all fine and well or whatever. But I promise you this, the hate that people have for me is extremely different than the hate that they got for Shanny, and Sabella can confirm that. It is very different. What I did after this is I did a fundraiser. And when I did the fundraiser on that YouTube channel, and I want you to pay attention to this, Shanny, because we're going to come back to this later. I did a fundraiser, and even my enemies helped me out. Even people who couldn't stand the ground that I walked on. Dragnut tried to stop people from donating. A lot of other people tried to stop people from donating. I think after a while, Dragnut got one of his friends to offer me somewhere to live in Pennsylvania, but I didn't need it at that point because when I did the fundraiser, I was able to make enough money to move out of there, which I didn't do right away. It took a couple of days, but I eventually moved out of that place. It got so bad that when she cut the electricity off, listen to me here, guys, okay? That when she cut the electricity off, okay, in the middle of winter, there is a video that exists on YouTube and on my main channel with me. Thank you, Sabella. It's Doc Savage. Yeah. Let me show everybody the comment that she made here. It was Doc Savage that but me and Doc Savage didn't really get along. So, you know, anyway, so yeah, but it is true that one of Dragnut's friends wanted to give me somewhere to live, right? Now, mind you, I'm not liked. I'm a very disliked person in this community. Just type in XX0054 or type in G-Man on your YouTube search engine, and you will see to the extent there are cartoons made about me. There are soundboards made about me. There are people in here that can't stand the ground I walk on. And they were donating to help me get out of that house. They were donating, whether it was $5, $10, $15, $100. The people were donating. I had an atheist on here that I've never gotten along with called Sci-10 Atheist. He made a $100 donation to help me get out of there. Everybody, even Stevie Wonder and Ray Charles could see how evil this woman was being in this situation. Everybody saw that. Everybody could see it. So when I got the money, I eventually moved out of that house. And if anybody knows my personality on here at all, they knew that when I got out of that place, you know, business was going to pick up. I was going to be making videos, and I was going to be exposing this woman every opportunity I got. every opportunity I got. And you want to know what Shanny started doing? Shanny started calling me the N-word. I was the first victim of the N-word. Then I think Life of a Free Spirit became, Sabella, correct me if I'm wrong. I think Life of a Free Spirit. Well, yeah. Let me put this up here because it's true. Everybody can see it except you. Well, a lot of the atheists that were making videos about me, I couldn't stand them at the time, and they were warning me not to take nothing from her. So it's kind of like people I don't like was trying to talk some sense into me, but I wasn't listening. Okay, but that's another story in and of itself. But you're right about that, though. So I can't argue with that. But this woman started calling me the N-word, Life of a Free Spirit, the N-word. She started calling other Caucasian people the N-word, and she called herself trying to normalize it and everything and whatnot. And a lot of the people in this community stopped liking her. Now, mind you, she's spending Rev into oblivion at this point, doing these wakey bakey. She took down a cross. She used to have a cross on her wall. She took that down for a reefer, a marijuana sign on her wall. You know what I mean? Started wearing green like she was a witch, and started getting high to the point that she pooped on herself or had diarrhea or whatever, right? And then you had this buffoon going, rocking back and forth. I wish my camera was on now. Rocking back and forth, going and just agreeing with everything that she was saying. Dressing up like the Joker. Let me see if I have a video prepared for that one, because I was just watching that actually. But anyway, one of the things that they said about me, because before I moved out the house, is I was threatening to sue them for slander, but mostly for the way I was, the whole situation regarding the house. Now, my lawyer told me I had a 35, I'll never forget this. That man wanted like $2,000 or $3,000 that I was going to borrow from family members. And he told me I had a 35% chance of winning because there was nothing signed. And that's where I was screwed. Because if I even had an email and something was signed on it, I had a better chance. But I didn't have nothing. Nothing was signed. So I was threatening to sue her, right? Let me show you guys another clip from the same Marked by God channel. Now, the thing I made this video that you're looking at here a long time ago on a channel called Marked by God, which I later deleted because of back and forth with the trolls and everything and whatnot. But I deleted the channel. They didn't flag me down. I deleted it like a dummy. I should have kept it. But I'm going to show everybody what I'm talking about here in a minute. All right. We're going to go back to this video again. And I want you to listen to one of the most disrespectful statements a Caucasian person can say to a black person. I want you to listen to this. But first, she's going to say some other stuff, then you're going to see what I'm talking about.
Now.
So I was thinking about this.
So, actually, I'm going to let you guys hear this.
If anything, to get that man out of my house,
A noise complaint.
I can throw, and this is all video documented, a noise and nuisance complaint in my home.
This woman is so stupid. How many times did she get on camera? This is what my lawyer was talking about, that she could have gotten in trouble for saying, and then they talk about they were married. No, they wasn't. See, I've learned quite a bit about this real estate stuff. She kept getting on here talking about my house, my house, my house, my house, my house. She would have gotten a lot of trouble had I actually took her behind the court. That's why she later said that she was going to give me 30 to 60 days to find a place and whatnot, because she realized how dumb she looked when she said to get out of her house for the reasons that she was talking about. They have laws in this country for a reason. But again, look how stuck up and snobby this woman is acting when she's in this position of power. Look how stuck up and snobby she's acting. Not caring, listen to me here now, not caring if I'm out in the street. She doesn't care if I'm out in the street, but she doesn't do nothing to nobody. Oh, okay, fine.
That will get him evicted quick. Because there's plenty of video evidence of him yelling and screaming in my house.
You're a lover of money, you're a racist, and your head is a little bit too big because you're spending Rev's money too fast.
Especially when you're dealing with two white rich people compared to one poor black man. I mean, logically speaking, G-Man.
It's 2019, and Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? 2 rich white people against 1 poor black man. So when I was threatening to take them to court, you know, they had all of this money, and I was this poor person, and I needed to just give it up and just take my lumps. And just take my lumps. That video that you see on my Mark by God was on another laptop that I had that I lost. I was actually planning on seeing about doing some type of but I was gonna lose. No lawyer was gonna take that case or nothing like that. I even tried to get I think I tried to get actually let me think about this. I think I tried to get Nate Brody to help me, but me and Nate wasn't on talking terms or whatever. But there was some or Nate the lawyer, that's what we call him here on YouTube. His channel was called Nate Brody for a while. But I was looking to do something regarding that statement that she made. I think I was talking about going to the news, the Scranton reporters or something like that in the newspapers and show them what she said. I was really thinking about doing that, but I turned it. Like I said, I didn't do any of that, and I ended up leaving that house. I did a fundraiser, and even my enemies donated to me. I remember when David Anthony, who gave the biggest donation, he told me, you know, take this and then tell Shanny and stick that house up her rear end. Now, apparently, David Anthony has more experience with dealing with Shanny than I do. Ms. Star has more experience dealing with Shanny than I do. A lot of people on here had more experience with dealing with Shanny than I did. I only know Shanny from the Great Debate days when she was coming into the rooms for the hangouts or whatever. You know what I mean? I didn't know her as well as some of the other people that was on here and whatnot. And everybody on here was warning me, saying, don't take anything from Shanny. Don't take anything from her. So anyway, even my enemies were donating to me. So let's fast forward here a little bit. Shanny spends all of that. Shanny and Rev spends all of that money because it wasn't just her. That moron bought an expensive car he couldn't afford. He kept moving, kept buying a bunch of junk he didn't need. You know what I mean? And they spent themselves into poverty. At this particular time, we're on speaking terms again. We're friends because you know what I did? You know what I did when I moved out of there? I got a job. I saved my money. I paid back my debts. And I made sure I kept my life private. And I kept doing what I was doing on YouTube, even though she didn't like it. And while I was doing all of that, everybody on YouTube was attacking and destroying her and exposing her for the liar and the racist and the fraud that she actually is. I didn't have to say anything. The people on the internet was exposing her. But I took care of my business. I got a job. I got money in my pocket. I got a roof over my head. I ain't depending on no uncle to take care of me. I'm not begging people on the internet to feed me. I went out there and I took care of my business. And God was there the whole way, helping me get back on my feet. I'm going to tell you guys a personal story I don't think I've ever told here on YouTube. I don't think I've ever told anybody this story. But there are several family members that know this story. And I'm sure some of you with an imagination had to expect something like this from me, right? So check this out. Check this out. She made a couple of videos saying that I kept going back to the house and whatnot, right? Because I left stuff there. And I kept asking for permission to go back there and get my things that I left there. And she would never give me permission. So you know what? I had the key. I knew where the key was. I went over there and I was getting my stuff out of there, right? She was right about that a couple of times. Not all the times, but a couple of times. She was just being a jerk, trying to be controlling, saying I couldn't get my things and whatnot. As a matter of fact, that's one of the reasons why I got the house back the second time, because I kept getting on their case about when can I go over there and get my stuff. And this is when they were getting broke. And I was getting on YouTube saying that, oh, I'm doing good with my job. They were saying that G-Man can't afford the taxes. I said, who told you that lie? Yes, I can. I can afford a lot of stuff right now. I'm back on my feet. I'm back on my feet now. You know what I mean? So I don't want to skip this. He spends all of her money. They're broke now. We're on talking terms. They give me back the house. They're broke. Now, mind you, I'm questioning in the back of my head, what made them change their mind and give me back the house? Oh, I forgot. That's not what I wanted to talk about. This is why I got to stop looking at the chat. this is what I was going to do when I was going back and forth there. And I'm not, and I can say this because I told them this in person. Okay. I didn't like how I was kicked out of there. I didn't like how the situation was. And I went back to the house on multiple times. I went in that basement and I said, you know what I should do? I should pull out all of these copper pipes. I should destroy this entire basement and then leave. That's what I should do. Then I thought, let me destroy this refrigerator and the stove and then leave. And then I thought, let me go in the garage and destroy this, this, and this, and then leave. But you want to know what? Something in my head told me not to do it. I believe that this was the Holy Spirit telling me, look, if you do that, you're going to be doing it to yourself. I don't know what made me think they was going to change their mind and give me back that place, because I'm telling you, when I got out the house, it was war. It was war. You can go look at the videos I was making. I was taking no prisoners with these two. Okay? And even Dragnut had to agree with some of this stuff that I was saying. Even Sabella had to agree with some of the stuff. Don't let there be a safe in the story. No, it's nothing like that, Sabella. It's nothing like that. I was threatening to utterly destroy the place in my mind or whatever, but I think the Holy Spirit stopped me from doing it because I felt like I would be doing it to myself and I was going to have to make the repairs or whatever. So I decided not to do it, and I left the house in pretty good condition. And when I left the house in the condition that it was in, you know what I mean? In the back of my mind, I always thought this place is going to be mine again. I don't know how, I don't know where, but it's going to be mine again. And that's when the whole Big C hangouts was happening with Shanny, and Big C was telling me, you should go back there, go live in it. They can't tell you this, that, and the other. You can do this legally and everything and whatnot. Of course, I didn't listen to none of that because I didn't want to get locked up. Because like I said, I was kind of new to the whole topic of home ownership and all of that. And plus, if nobody signs anything, you know what I mean? There's nothing I can do. Now, I didn't know nothing about back taxes and foreclosures and all the other that stuff I didn't know nothing about. I know about that stuff now, which is why everything is paid up on it. But that's important for me to talk about, because when Shanny and them lost their money and we was friends and everything now, and I was on my feet and they wasn't on their feet, you'll notice that I was there financially for them. I paid for that key fob scam that they did on here. I didn't know it was a scam back then, but they told me they needed money for a key fob. They needed their phone bill paid. There was some other bills that needed to be paid. And I was going back and forth on the phone with them, talking about paying these bills. I was sending them the money for through Cash App. I was mailing them stuff. I was mailing them stuff from the house because, you know, he wanted his Magic the Gathering cards, which was stupid and a waste of money because he paid for me to mail all that stuff there. And then he ultimately drives them right back where he got them from. And then I ended up getting those. It's just stupid. Utterly stupid. But he had me mail all this stuff to him and all this. Meanwhile, I'm paying for all these bills that they got over there in Colorado. Now, this is the video that you guys are familiar with here. I want you to take a look at her situation here. Okay. Oh, quick story about that house in here before we get to their suffering when they came to this house over here. You probably heard from Sabella, and you probably heard from Dragnut that when I was in the house, in order for me to stay warm, because she had to cut the electricity off, there was, I don't know if you guys have ever seen those aluminum strainer thingies that they put under those aluminum pans to keep the food warm at a buffet. I had one of those. And I had like a tin can, and I went on YouTube and I looked at emergency heat or whatever, and I had this tin can, and I put some bricks around it. I think I showed people in video this, and I put some toilet paper in there, and I drenched it in, I think it was 90% alcohol, and they told me you can use it as emergency heat, and that's how I was staying warm there. She was wondering how I was able to make videos. Well, before I moved there, I had a charger for my phone. And in order for me to keep the internet plugged in, it had to be plugged into this battery charger that I had, in which I went to the laundromat and I charged it there, and then I brought it back, and then I would plug everything up in there, like my phones and like a little lamp or whatever, you know what I mean? But I couldn't do it with a heater. But that's how I stayed warm. I didn't complain about it on YouTube. I was trying to get out of there. I didn't complain about not having no water in there. I was melting snow. I was melting snow so I can drink water. I was melting snow so I can flush the toilet. I was melting snow to take care of my business. I want people to know this so that people can know that Shanny is full of caca. That woman is a liar. That woman expects everybody to do stuff for her, and them days are over, and I'm going to personally lead the revolution. Well, what's left of the revolution, because Drag already did it, Carrie already did it, Draven already did it, Just Breezing already did it, and so many others. But now I'm going to lead what's left of it to expose this woman on the molecular level, okay? Because I live this. Okay, and I ain't get on here about my problems and everything and whatnot. I did something about it. I did something about it. All right, and I give God thanks for the provisions that I had. All right. Fast forward to Boulder, Colorado. Shanny gets arrested. I defend Shanny. Shanny's a racist. I defend Shanny. Shanny's a con artist. I defend Shanny. Shanny's an adulterer. I'm sorry, an adulteress. I'm sorry. I defend Shanny. I'm defending her left and right because, you know, I'm running this thing of forgiveness here on YouTube. I'm running around saying we need to forgive, and the people that was going after her were monsters and everything, right? Let me show you this video here. This woman who thinks she's a diva, says she don't want no scrub, who said that she's all that in a bag of buffalo wings, who thought she was high and mighty and better than everyone. Yeah, Shanny, I want to remind you of how many people in here you actually hurt. You put down a lot of people on here who were suffering. I ain't just talking about myself. There are people on here that you were talking to that were going through things, and you just destroyed them verbally. And now you expect all them same people to take care of your lazy walrus behind. But anyway, let me screen share something for you guys so you guys can see this. I think a lot of you seen this. This is really popular. One of my favorites because it shows that who the real man of Rev's house was, and it was never him. And Rev, I want to say this again. You were never the man of your own house, Rev. Jason, listen to me. You were never the man of your house. When you had your money, I was the man over there. And when you lost your money, I was the man over there. That Shanny knows you're a bum. Shanny knows you're lazy. Shanny knows you don't want to work. Shanny knew all of that stuff. She knew all of that. Why do you think she wanted me to have the house, you moron? Why do you think that she kept saying my name when she needed something? Anyway, let's play this here. That's why I don't listen to him when he makes his threats at me. Right? I don't fear a guy who's afraid, who's allergic to working. I'm sorry. Let's get this one here. Here we go.
Eviction notice that we got to be kicked out here in the weekend and we're losing our fucking car and everything all at once. I need fucking help. I don't know what to do. I'm fucking panicking. I've tried all I can. My fucking phone, they sent me a fucking shitty fucking phone and it's gone. I need fucking help. Someone help me.
You guys know how you got parents that know their children. Parents knows which ones are responsible ones and which ones are the lazy ones that don't want to work and everything and whatnot. She only got a lot of people in her life. Her mom, I think, was still alive at the time. Her dad was still alive. She had some friends on here left, one or two of them. She had Jason. You know what I mean? A lot of people in her life. And guess who's the one that she's calling for when she needs help? She doesn't even pray to Jesus.
Work my ass off.
Absolutely hilarious.
Trying to do as much as I can, and I sent fucking Krista the $50 back by fucking accident. I need G-Man. Okay, so can someone severely get me hold of G-Man? Because I need him. I need
her little boy that she calls a man, to whom she claims when he touches her, she feels so good. that gave her 2 orgasms. If you read her community post, you all know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Her little boy that she pretends is a man is standing in the room with her, and she ain't calling for him. She ain't praying to Jesus. She ain't praying to God. I don't know why, but she ain't doing it. She ain't calling her mom and her dad. She ain't calling a little bit of friends that she had on YouTube. First person she calling is me. The person that she was racist towards. The person she treated like garbage. The person she threw out on the street. I'm the first person that come to her mind. That's interesting.
someone in my life. Because I just don't know what to do. You know, I say we just pack up the car what we can, and we just head out to Pennsylvania. There's nothing else we can fucking do. We got no fucking money. We got fucking nothing. We just sell all this fucking shit. But we got to get out of this house by this weekend. By this weekend. And what is it?
See, this is what I believe about that house. They wanted me to pay all them back taxes. They wanted me to fix the place up. They wanted me to do all this stuff so that they could frustrate me into giving them back the house. And the only reason I came to this conclusion, to be honest, is for 2 reasons. And I believe that the Holy Spirit is responsible for showing me these things. I want to make sure I say that. But Rev actually admitting it in the house the day they moved. And then 2, David Anthony, who made a video where he said that after she's done spending up all of Rev's money, she was going to come and try to destroy me. And I don't know why David Anthony thought I was going to be that stupid that I was going to let her do that. But I never forgot the first time me and her had that eviction thingy and whatnot. I never, ever forgot that.
What day is it? It's Thursday. It says you will be evicted anytime.
No.
It says, please move this weekend in Turner.
That is
2 rich white people versus 1 poor black man. And she's calling for the poor black man. I want y'all to think about that a minute. 2 rich white people versus 1 poor black man. 2 years, a year and a half after that incident happened, she finds herself in a position when she's being evicted and she's crying for that poor black man. What does that tell you about Shanny?
It says, to Jason All, Egroff, and all other persons reside occupied and staying in premises. The Jefferson County office is ordering by Jefferson County Court to enforce a writ of restitution eviction for these premises. This means you must move out immediately, and if you do not vacate, the sheriff's office is required by the court to enter and remove all your possessions. Please be aware that the sheriff's office has no legal responsibility.
By the way, the house that you guys saw in Colorado, after looking at the videos, the toilet and everything, when I first got the house, you know, the first eviction saga or whatever, when I first got that house was worse. It was a lot worse because the ceiling in the kitchen was on the floor. Okay, and then in the master bedroom, the ceiling there was on the floor, and it was rainwater all over the place. That house was a lot worse.
To pack your items and removal. So I need fucking help.
Can I say something quick? Put me on, just shoot me for 1 second.
Here, you hold it. I'm fucking panicking. Okay? I'm fucking panicking.
This is proof. This is proof right here. Okay? That the Democratic Party has done.
The reason why he's not panicking because he knows he can go to the uncle. That's why he's not panicking. He didn't burn all. Well, that's another story for another day. We'll get. As a matter of fact, we'll get to that one a little bit later. Actually, he did burn his bridges.
Nothing to help anyone. The government has done nothing to help anyone.
I'm gonna have a fucking heart attack.
There was some,
I'm gonna have a fucking heart attack. I'm gonna have a fucking heart attack. I spent all this money for this shit that we don't need. The fucking cable, the fucking electricity. I paid all that money and we don't even, we can't even use it.
Cover her chest up. Ugh.
I knew this coming for a week. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. This just showed up on my door. I didn't even go to court.
Actually, there's a video on YouTube exposing her. She didn't know about it. She's just acting ultra dramatic right now because what was it? She's acting ultra dramatic right now to try to solicit funds from people. There's a video that exists on YouTube where her playing her games and she was acting all calm and whatnot, and she knew that she had to move. I forget what channel has it, but they exposed her on this.
No, there was no court.
I didn't even go to fucking court. There was no court. They just
And the only
did
reason
it.
I know this is because of the archive channels. The very archive channels that I was accusing of just putting hate out there all the time. But the reality is these archive channels are valuable now because these archive channels have everything that she's ever said on social media on those channels. If she said it on social media and it was important, it's on those archive channels. And if you're a Christian and you really want to see just how evil this woman is, go take a look at those archive channels. Do not listen to her on her Losers Club YouTube channel, where she claims she hasn't done nothing to nobody or she's never done nothing to nobody. That is not true. Okay, let's take Jason, for example. Now, mind you, I got a lot of problems with that guy. But I'm going to say this regarding what Shanny did to him and what he allowed her to do to him. She cut his balls off and fed him to the Crocs. Okay? She absolutely destroyed him psychologically. She beats him up physically. She controls him. And is a control freak. 1 minute she can't walk and she's in terrible pain. The next minute she's flying off of chairs, chasing after him when she gets mad at him. She needs to get her story straight.
They were supposed to go through the eviction process.
They were supposed to go through the eviction process, and they didn't.
No, they just said get out.
And by the way, I agree with Carrie. They did not quit smoking and they did not quit Delta 8. I don't believe that for a second. An addiction like that just don't go away like that overnight. Now, they don't got their camera on so they can say whatever they want. But if their camera was on when they did that last rambling stream, I'm pretty sure we would have seen them smoking. Since they can't go an entire 4 or 5 hour stream without cigarettes.
It's gonna get out.
I need G-Man. Someone get a hold of G-Man now.
Shanny's right about one thing. She ain't looking for no goody two shoes. That's for sure. She wants a bad boy. She doesn't want somebody who's actually going to listen to the Bible. She wants herself a bad boy. That's what she wants. She's right about that one. Red too stupid to understand.
That's funny. It doesn't. It's funny.
But then
It's funny.
And Shanny, I hope you're watching this part. What made you think I wanted to do something with the two of you when you know how I feel about that topic? And then number two, that room, that bed, and the way you two personally smelled. What on God's green earth made you think? Oh, anyway, let's continue.
It's funny that a family's gonna be on the street, dude. It's funny, right? It's funny that I don't have my fucking friend to talk to.
I think I found out about this the same day, and then and gave them like a couple of $100 after that.
No, it says that we can. The cops will come in and remove our shit. It says you will be evicted at any time.
But the top says be out by the weekend.
But on the top it says please move this weekend.
Yeah, that's ignore this. They want you to read this. Get out by the end of the weekend. By the end of the weekend, we have.
So anyway, you guys have seen this a million times, so I don't need to go through all of that. So let's talk about this. They ended up doing a road trip The only reason I know about what I'm going to talk about right now is because I've been watching these archive channels. But during the time that this was going on, I was not watching because I was working. I had no time to watch two people driving around and talking all the time or whatever. So from what I can gather from these archive channels, and you guys probably know more than I do, is that they were wasting a lot of time talking about nothing. But somebody did tell me, I think Miss Parker was the one that told me that they stopped at the house over there, right? And I think Shanny told me too. They stopped at the house over there and I wasn't there. Some people believed I was there and I didn't want to answer the door or whatever. But they came there and I wasn't there and they left. But they did eventually get me on the phone and I found out that they was in Scranton and I met them over there at the uncle house. Now, from what they told me and from what I'm hearing on YouTube, the uncle threw them out of that house because, simply put, they didn't want to work. And the uncle is not that crazy about Shanny. I think the only reason the uncle is tolerating Shanny is because of Rev. So all this mess about when Rev gets on YouTube and is saying that the uncle loves Shanny, that is not true. Do not believe that. That is a lie. Okay. So what ended up happening, the uncle threw them out and they ended up coming in the house that was now mine. And mind you, at this time, I think Dragna and those guys were making videos claiming that was there a lawyer involved and all this other stuff? I can tell you this. I learned my lesson the first time. There were lawyers involved. I was making copies of everything that was signed and written. I was doing everything that lawyer told me the first time that I needed to do times 2. I was taking care of my business. I did my research and I made sure to find out what they can and what they can't do if they change their mind and everything. Okay. So when the place was finally in my name, they ended up living there. When they originally went there, they brought a mattress with them. Telling you the truth, they brought a mattress with them, but the boys did not have a mattress. They had a mattress. The boys had a blanket on the floor and a pillow. I think I came there 2 or 3 days because I was going back and forth from Jersey. Well, actually, not even. It was sometimes it was Jersey and sometimes it was Philly because that's what I was living. I was living in the suburbs in Philadelphia at the time. But obviously I moved now. I don't live there no more, so I can say that now. I was in the suburbs of Philadelphia. I told Shanny and Red specifically where I live. I'm very surprised they didn't get on YouTube and tell everybody, to be perfectly honest. But I was going back and forth there, and I had some extra money on me, and I bought the mattresses that you guys see in the pictures. I bought them an individual mattress from the Goodwill store because I didn't have enough money to go out there and buy everybody proper beds. I told them that if they would have waited, I would have went to Rent-A-Center and I would have put brand new furniture all throughout the house, but they rushed their way in there. And it was construction work that was going on there. And I didn't even want them in there, but you know how they are. You know what I mean? They ended up coming in there. I got the mattresses. At first, Zachary and William had to sleep on the same mattress. I eventually got them their own separate mattresses. I got them a TV that they could share. I got them some games that they could play or whatever, because apparently they left all of that stuff in Colorado from what they told me anyway. I find it odd that the majority of the things that was brought with them was Shanny and Rev stuff. What I'm curious to know for the people that went there in Boulder, Colorado, is how much of the kid stuff was actually there. Because when I met these kids, they had a little bit of clothes. One of them didn't even have no underwear. Okay. And they had some Holy Up sneakers or whatever I think they had at the time or whatever. So I had to buy them sneakers or whatever. What else? They had a couple of games, like they had a Switch. And the other one had like a laptop and a tablet or something like that. And the other one had a phone, very expensive phone that they had. But they were living in a house, and they was only supposed to be there until Thanksgiving. I think until November. I forgot when they came there, but the weather was warm. They were supposed to be out of there by Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving turned into a very long time. Okay? They was never supposed to be there during the winter. I did not have enough money to constantly keep putting oil in that place because it has an oil furnace there, and they were supposed to stay warm. So what ended up happening was they had to get space heaters. Okay? And they never turned the things off. They never turned them off. They were on all the time. The warmest room in that entire house during the winter was Shanny and Rev's room. William and Zachary, their rooms were decent. But the warmest rooms in that house with Shanny and Red's room. And my camera's not on, but I want you, if you guys can look at this picture here real quick so you can get a visual. Hold on. The bed is, oh, and by the way, that's the air fryer that I was telling you guys about. Let me let you guys look at that again. Yeah, it's a PS5 over there by the TV, but their bed is on the other end of the room and is on the floor. Shanny would have like this fan, like almost touching her face. And then the heater, it's a miracle the place didn't burn down, but the heater was amongst all of this clothes and peanut butter and food and all this other stuff and whatnot. And they had the heat coming directly on them. But that room was warm. The rest of that place was freezing. It was cold, except for the room. Zachary and William had a couple of blankets, and they was able to stay warm that way. I would buy them food on a regular basis. I was getting cash app requests all the time for $35 for a medication. The vast majority of the time, it was medication. It was not food. The only time they wanted food is when Rev contacted me. The majority of the time, Rev contacted me. When Shanny contacted me, Shanny wanted something very specific. And guess what? I'll let you guys take a guess what they wanted. What Shanny wanted when she wanted food. I'll let you all take a guess. Come on. Come on. I'll let you all take a guess. What kind of food you think they wanted? They wanted pizza and they wanted sandwiches. So I personally laugh every time I see them get on there and say that they want pizza and Chinese food on their YouTube channels because that's what they were doing to me. No, they didn't go to school when they was they did the virtual school. They did the virtual school. They had the laptops at home and they were supposed to be doing their schooling that way. But Zachary was skipping classes. He wasn't even doing his classes. And Shanny and Red would have never known anything about it if they was on YouTube all the time. I don't know how they found out that he was skipping classes. I think I might have said something because I was asking him, why aren't you in your class or whatever? You know, minding his business and not minding my own or whatever. But anyway, they would be there and then they would complain about how cold it is there. G-Man, when are you gonna put some oil in the tanks, G-Man? You know, like we can't, you know, this knucklehead Rev, this guy wasn't working, wasn't giving me a dime, had the nerve to come to me and say that, you know, we can't continue to live in these circumstances. If we continue to live in these circumstances, gee, we're going to have to go. You know what I mean? Of course, he didn't go nowhere. But I told them I couldn't afford to put oil in there. If they wanted oil in there, they had to do it themselves. And then the one time I could do it, this lazy sack of garbage would not get out his bed so that we can go buy the fuel to put it in the tank because I fixed the tank, the oil furnace, and I wanted to run it, but it needed oil. So we had to go to the store to go get it. And this knucklehead didn't want to get out the bed. And it was almost time for me to go back to work. I spent the night there. I understood how cold it was there. I was like, nah, man. I got to go get some oil for this place. And he wouldn't take me because I don't drive. So I said, you know what? Okay, fine. Use space heaters. Okay. So the part about them being cold there, it wasn't me trying to get revenge. I think it was God paying them back personally because quite frankly, I'm not rich. I work just like the rest of you do. Okay. And I can only afford but so much. I can barely take back. Listen, I can take care of myself, but listen to me. Shanny ain't my wife. Me and Rev ain't family, and those ain't my kids. I did what I could with what I had, and they was acting like it was my responsibility to take care of them. This woman got on my case over $50. I don't know if I told you guys. I talked about this on Dragstream. I gave her money to pay a bill, and she didn't pay it. And unlike her, I didn't get on YouTube and broadcast it to everybody. The uncle gave her $500, $550, $600 to bail Rev out of jail. Because first they gave me first I had like about a 300. Turned out we needed a little bit more. And then uncle came out with 5. And then Obviously, I didn't want to sign because obviously I did not have a good understanding of what they meant by a bail bond and how you can get in trouble if a person doesn't appear in court. See, I didn't know all of that. When that bail bondsman explained all that to me, I was like, no, I'm not going to agree to any of this. He'll get out when he goes to court or whatever, or he'll do what he can when he goes to court because I can't do it. The uncle got to deal with it. But she spent that money. She smoked that money up. She smoked that money up. So this hypocrite that got on here and got on my case over $50 spent the uncle's money that was going to be used to bail him out of jail. That is a true story. And I did all that on foot. And I'm a walker, so it don't bother me. The bail bondsman place from where that house is about, I would say about a little bit more than a mile. And I walked there and I walked back twice. Because I had it in my head, I was going to get him out of jail. I was going to get my friend out of jail. And I didn't have time to to stay with Shanny, so I gave her the money. What I should have did was I should have gave it back to the uncle, but I gave it to Shanny. I said, Shanny, hold on to this and give this to the uncle. Shanny spends the money up. That's a little confident video. She's like, oh, maybe he's a rebound. Maybe he's this. Maybe he's that. And that's also when she was trying to get with me as well. Rev keep talking about some. I'm mad because she doesn't want to sleep with me. Rev is stupid. He's stupid with a capital S. And Rev will always be stupid as long as he keeps believing that garbage. I could have took his whole family if I wanted. But of course, I have integrity and I don't want to catch the AIDS virus. So, you know what I mean? It is what it is. I'm not saying that she got AIDS, but you know what I mean. Yeah, she straight up stole the bail money. So they're over there, you know what I mean? They're cold. They're over there begging for money. They're over there, you know what I mean, going through what I had to go through, but for a much longer period of time, because I didn't throw them out after one argument. I didn't throw them out after one transgression. As you guys know, I found this man a job twice, okay? And he said no twice. He was so disrespectful that day that he says, no, give that job to one of the kids. As if the job was too good for him. So when you guys hear me say certain things about Rev and I go on my community posts and I keep talking about how Delta is hiring and whatnot, I'm doing that to mock him because I know he doesn't want to work. That job interview video he did, he's full of it. And they're destined for the homeless shelter and concrete because these people are demonically disobeying the scriptures. Yeah, not only if a man doesn't work, he shouldn't eat. But if a man doesn't work, he will be impoverished. Shanny and Rev's destiny is to be a bum on the street, begging for money because they refuse to get off their rear ends and actually get a job. But that's me going on a tirade. How come nobody gave Shanny and Rev a GoFundMe? How come nobody went out there and did anything for them? How come all of her enemies didn't help her get rent and security? Do you want to know why? Because when they kicked me out of there, that was done in a very demonic, evil way in what they did. And everybody can see it, but me. Well, actually, no, I seen it too because I went through it. When they got kicked out because Shanny spent all of the money and Rev spent all of their money on stupid stuff. See that belt that you see on my shoulder there? That's supposed to be a bribe. That's supposed to be a bribe. There's a video with him wearing a Philadelphia 76er jersey that he gave me that I actually have now. Everything that they had in that place that they were supposedly going to sell, I'm in possession of most of it. I would have had the PS5 on the day I met them. When they came to the house, she pulled out the PS5 and said, G-Man, here is yours. And I told her I didn't want it because I learned my lesson the first time. I learned my lesson. I said to her, I said that, no, you need that to make money. You need that to make money. You need that to make money. Shanny's plan from day one was to spend his money, drop him, and then try to get me. And I don't even think Rev cares. Because I think deep down inside, he knows this. I think he knows this. I don't think he cares. Because he's got a reincarnation of his mommy back in Shanny. And Shanny's stuck. And she's got the perfect judgment on her. She can't up and leave him like a normal woman would. She got to stay with him. But anyway, I believe that my situation was different because I was treated unjustly. Everybody could see, even though they didn't like me, what Shanny did was straight up wrong. And I don't think her calling me the N-word helped her out anyway. I mean, helped her out in any way. It didn't do her any favors. And then getting on there, belittling everybody, looking down on people, with Rev talking about how evil or how bad the EBT cards were. Let me tell you guys what I got that belonged to Shanny. I got her cameras, everything that this knucklehead bought her. A lot of that stuff I have. I got her cameras, her memory cards, her precious games. I have all of that stuff, and I would have had a heck of a lot more because her dummy man gave them to me. But I said, no, you need some games for yourself. And the games I'm referring to is the games, Rev. If you're listening to me, that was in the box that was in the back of the Durango. Those games I was supposed to keep. Rev didn't want her to have anything. See, Shanny think that she got this man. Shanny, listen to me, Shanny. Who do you think threw your clothes in the garbage? You keep saying I did. Rev threw them clothes in the garbage. Guys, it was 2 construction bags full of clothes with worms and maggots in it. Okay? And they were stinking up the joint. Some of them smelled like pure donkey. I don't know if it was cat doo-doo or human poop, but it smelled like poop and it had maggots and stuff in it. And Rev told me to throw that stuff in the garbage. They didn't want those clothes. They didn't want those clothes. Okay? If you look at this picture here, I'm going to let you guys take a look at it again. Behind that TV, he has a lot of expensive old retro gaming systems and old games behind there. And you want to know what the cats was doing to all of that stuff? It was peeing on everything. Cats was peeing on the games. They were dunking over there by the window. Doing all kinds of nasty and disgusting stuff behind there. And that was around the time when I learned about that I told them that if they don't get those cats under control, I wish I was there for that one because you guys would have been proud of me. Because I told them straight up, I said, if y'all don't get these cats under control, I want these cats out of this house. They didn't argue with me. Shanny was prepared to get rid of at least Gavin. That's why all this, where's Gavin the boy? Where's Gavin the boy? No, let me tell you something. If it was going to be her or the cats was going to go. Make no mistake about it. Shanny is a fake and a fraud. So I'm not being careless when I make my videos. I'm not being heartless when I'm making my videos. I know who this woman really is now. My eyes are wide open. There is no way on God's green earth Shanny can manipulate me anymore. I am free as a bird now. Everything they got in that house, they deserved. Everything. How do you guys think I felt when I found out they were lying about the tire? I want you guys to imagine my personality. They're not even in this room with me right now. I'm raising my voice and whatnot. What do you think I did when I found out they lied about that tire? Remember what I did when I came on YouTube when I really thought that those knuckleheads came to the house? I want you to think about that a minute. I got on YouTube and I was saying all kinds of stuff. Oh, the reason why they're not begging for cat litter is because the cats are probably dunking in the bathtub again. Because they're not washing their bodies in there. That's for sure. I don't know. I think those two are allergic to soap and water. I don't know, but they're allergic to something though. That's for sure. That is for sure. I don't even like thinking about that because it makes me nauseous when I think about it. Ugh. But I want y'all to think about how I felt when I found out about that tire. If I can ever get this guy to agree to come on my YouTube channel, he'll tell you how the tire looked. I'll just tell him not to tell you his name or who he is or whatever. But I'll definitely have you listen to him one day, and he'll tell you. He'll tell you straight up what he thought about the tire when he saw it. And then when we found that piece of nail that was hanging out of it, Rev lied about that. You see, you guys was all claiming that that woman was my slave master and whatnot, but behind the scenes, I'm yelling at this woman at the top of my lungs. I'm losing my voice sometimes. Now, like I said, I met these people in person. Okay? For all the people out there that believe that if you keep giving him $7 here, $5 there, and $8 here, that's going to make them go to work, it is not. The one thing I'm noticing about these two, the worse of their circumstances become, the more likely they're going to have to do things that they don't want to do. But you guys got to understand something. When you're brainwashed by Shanny with certain things, it's not easy to see this. It's like you look at her as a perpetual victim. That she does her best to try. I'm just trying to be as 100% honest about this as possible. It's like you see everybody going after her as being the enemy, and now I'm not going to sit here and say she never did nothing wrong, because that's baloney. But you do look at people coming at her and not giving her a fair shake. That's when she got you brainwashed. If you've never been brainwashed by her, it's very difficult for you guys to be able to see this from this perspective. Where I started coming around was when the house started stinking. But I got to admit, when this buffoon didn't want to work, that was the beginning of the end for those guys. Because they were lying to me, basically. Let me tell you something. There were people on that same street going through the same situation that they were going through, and in 3 weeks, they got their paperwork to get their own place. They had TRA. They was getting emergency rent assistance. They was getting what do you call that? Section 8, emergency Section 8, and they was getting all kinds of help from the city in 3 weeks. So when I started asking them to show me the paperwork that they filled out and all the other stuff, they mysteriously never had the paperwork. Yeah, they could never show me anything. And I'm thinking, they're not playing me. They know how I am. They're doing what they need to do. And it turns out that these people ain't filling out no paperwork. And I'm gonna tell you something. If they keep doing that with the uncle gonna throw them out. Every now and then I hear Rev get on here and he says that he wants a more stable place to live, that he wants somewhere where he can be more certain about. That's because the uncle is starting to tell him, what are you guys doing about your situation? He's not doing it as often as he did the first time, but he's doing it. Oh, he's doing it. And that's why you hear Rev worrying a little bit. But he ain't too worried because he ain't got no job. He ain't got no income coming in. Shanny don't want to work and he don't want to work. They're both going to be living out in the street because they can't call me. Shanny can't go to her family, and Rev don't got no more family. And I don't think Shanny understands the severity of her situation. I really don't think she understands it. Sabella said, she claims she has an allergy to paperwork. When did she say that? Sewing ring, I imagine it was like the time Beckel made you a pop. Yeah. I had to eat humble pie a couple of times on here. Everybody swear I can just say whatever I want and the Christian community won't get me. Oh, yes, they will. That's why I got to constantly be careful what I say on here. And that's good to have that kind of accountability. That way, you can't just get on here and just say whatever you want. Shanny ain't accountable to nobody. She believes she can say and do whatever she wants and then claim she didn't do nothing to nobody later. She only tries to help people. That's baloney. She only uses people for her own selfish gain. Let me show you guys another picture on here. I have another picture on here I want to show you guys. Remember all that Delta 8 I told you when I was brainwashed? Because y'all got to understand something here. Shanny told me this stuff was helping her with her pain. This is how much Delta 8 on one occasion that I was buying them at one time. Let me show you guys this. All that's Delta 8. Because I'm thinking I'm taking away her pain. I'm thinking I'm taking away her pain. Because I thought that Delta 8 takes away pain. You know, the so-called hemp oil that's in Delta 8 is supposed to help you with pain. Now, this is where I got to give the reaction channels a little bit of credit here, and the archive channels. There are several videos where Shanny is only interested in doing one thing and one thing only, and that's getting high. She doesn't care about her pain. She don't care about her joints or anything like that. Rev keeps talking about his shakes and everything and whatnot, and how his legs is acting a certain way, how his hands. That's called withdrawal, Rev. That's called withdrawal. And you're going to keep going through that as long as your body's not getting that stuff. There's so many different reasons why people should not believe that you guys just quit cold turkey. It's not even funny. I'll let you guys take a look at this again. And I was getting this stuff dirt cheap. It wasn't like I was spending all this money on this. I got this stuff dirt cheap. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. When you go to the store and you know them $40 Delta, them $40 Delta 8 oils that Rev is buying, that he keeps begging for. You know what I was paying for that stuff? I wasn't paying no $40 for that. I wasn't paying $30 for it. I wasn't paying $20 for it. I was paying $7 each for them. Because I was getting it for what the stores was paying it for. Oh, believe you me, they miss me. They miss me a lot. But I thought I was doing it for the pain. That was helping. I was getting the stuff for the pain. But in reality, Shanny has a drug problem. She has a drug problem. She has a substance abuse problem that I'm no longer going to support. And she can make all of the smart comments she wants on her community posts. She can say whatever she wants in her videos. She can say whatever she wants. Them days are over. So Shanny, thank you, Shanny, for making that video and claiming I gave you a death sentence. Thank you. Thank you for being insensitive about me having to get surgery. Thank you, Shanny. You made your bed, now you're going to sleep in it. Literally. You made your bed, now you're going to sleep in it. And then you guys want to hear something funny? You see how much Delta 8 is there, right? You know what Rev told me? Rev, now mind you, half of that was supposed to be his and half of that was supposed to be hers. Rev would tell me he'd get like 3 or 4 of them things. And then in 2 or 3 days, all of that would be gone. Listen to what I just said. In 2 or 3 days, that will all be gone. Because while he was sleeping, she was smoking it and eating all of the gummies and smoking all of the oils. It got to the point, and I'm not lying to you, okay? I had to hide some of it in the car. I had to hide some of it in the because Rev was claiming this was his medication, and of course I'm stupid at this point. I was hiding some of it in the basement. I was hiding some of it in the cabinet and telling him, look, I'll call you and tell you where it is when you got somewhere to go, but don't tell Shanny. And then you want to know what this dummy did? This dummy goes upstairs and tells her everything that I said. So you know she got all of that too. So when you hear me get on here and I say things like Shanny only cares about Shanny, and you hear other YouTubers get on here and they say that Shanny only cares about Shanny, that is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. That is what this is probably the most selfish female you're gonna meet online. And I know quite a few of them on here. And let me tell you something. I don't like Fiona. Fiona's not selfish like that. I met Fiona in person. Fiona's not like that. And I don't like Fiona. All right. I met Hannah Zubby. She ain't nothing like that either. She's quite generous. I met quite a few people on here. Nothing has been nothing like this experience that I had meeting her, where it's all about one person. It's all about Shanny. It's all about her heart. It's all about how she feels. She don't give a hoot about how the kids feel. She don't give a hoot about how Jason feels. She doesn't give a hoot about how I feel. She don't give a hoot about the neighbors. She don't give a hoot about what the Bible has to say about anything. All she cares about is Shanny. And that's it. That's the only person she cares about. And if you ever hear her, my mommy and my daddy, she hates her mother and her father. But I promise you this, if Rev wants some poutine pie, he'll agree with everything that comes out of her mouth. Because he ain't got no spine to stand up to her. Do not follow, and by the way, guys, if you're a man out there and you're watching this channel for the first time, do not follow the example of Revelation News. Because a real man doesn't talk. Hold on, let me get my little video clip here. A real man. You know what? I forgot all about this. Let me play this.
I need help. I don't know what to do. I'm panicking. I've tried all I can. My phone, they sent me a phone and it's gone. I need help. Someone help me.
By the end of the weekend, we have to be out. It's Thursday, we can do it. Okay? We'll do it.
Where are we going?
We will pack what we can and we'll go to PA.
I don't want to die.
Yeah, I'm not the one freaking out, guys.
I wanted to die.
I'm not the one freaking out. Pete's, actually. Because I feel exactly like Pete's. When I get on this stupid fucking thing and I start looking for jobs, number one, my anxiety goes to about 750,000 miles per hour immediately. Like just doing a search for like remote work from home makes me want to fucking die. There's something mentally wrong with me, and I really mean this, and I need help. What kind of loser just starts shaking like a leaf and some fucking moron shaking like a leaf
Anybody
just
looking for a
could
job?
look up jobs?
Anybody looking for a job?
There's something wrong with me. So I've been looking for remote stuff, right? And the ones that the ones I'm pulling up, it says 1 year mandatory experience. You need 1 year experience, 1 year experience. I need an entry level customer service job. That's what I want. You know what I mean? I want an entry level customer service job. Is that so much to fucking ask? You know?
I said, don't follow the example of JWE. He's a horrible example of how to be a man. Now, Sabella has a video here that she wants me to play here in the live chat. So let me get my hands on that link here real quick. Hold on, and then I'll play that video. So just give me a second here. All right. So wait a minute, let me do that, and I'll do that. Got it. Now, where's that link at? Okay, here we go. I don't think I've seen this video. 56 seconds. Oh, okay. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to screen share something that Sabella sent me, and I'm going to let you guys take a look at this here real quick, okay? So just give me 1 second. We'll go look at it, okay? Let's see something here. The most amazing YouTuber ever, G-Man. This one should be good. Okay, let's take a look at this.
Yes, everybody, look, it's G-Man. Isn't he amazing? Oh my God, look at him. He's the most incredible individual to ever live. I'm just recording a video on this computer to see what it sounds like and looks like.
Oh, okay.
He's incredible. Look at him. Oh my God. It's such an honor to know the man. Look at him. The most incredible individual to ever live. I can't even joke about that.
Green construction paper.
Yes. He's the most incredible YouTuber and individual to ever live. It's G-Man. That's it. I'm done. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, that was around the time when he was getting ready to do those interviews. As a matter of fact, if somebody can find that video where he interviews Dragnut on his YouTube channel, I think that'd be a really interesting one if you can find that in its entirety. I think the only person that has that though is Dragnut. I need to contact him on Skype and ask him to give me a copy of that so I can play that on my channel. I'm a Dragoon, a donating Dragoon. You know, G-Man's going to be totally triggered when he sees this. Not as triggered as you are, buddy. Not as triggered as you are. And again, guys, if you don't know, I'm going to be uploading a diss track on Shanny tomorrow, but I have to have a condenser microphone in order to do it. Because if I do it using just my laptop, it's going to sound like I'm doing a rap in a bathroom somewhere in the far distant, like 20 feet away or whatever. It ain't going to sound right. So when I get my condenser mic, I'll actually do the diss track, and that'll be up tomorrow. Y'all gonna be cracking up when y'all see some of these new thumbnails I made about them. Some of them gonna make y'all vomit, but I think you're gonna get the point. You know. I seen the video where she's telling him to call the police, and according to her, she picked up the car or something like that. She moved the car herself or whatever, or up the train track or whatever. But I don't think I seen that in the video. I'm still trying to catch up with all of these videos I haven't seen. Right now, I'm still on XX Archive and Fat Courtney Love. When I'm done with that, I got to go to Ari Alex and finish watching his stuff. And then when I'm done watching his stuff, because I want the stuff that I missed. That's the main stuff I'm looking for. I'm looking for the stuff that I missed. But anyway, guys, getting back to the topic of this video, the difference between my situation and Shanny's is that I was treated unjustly, and she's in the position that she's in because she's just evil and doesn't want to work. It's just as simple as that. You know what I mean? A lot of people, you can't sit there, Shanny, and be a racist to somebody on YouTube, belittle everybody that watches you. You can't get on here bragging about how you're this rich person and everything and whatnot, right? Going around doing these terrible things to other people and then thinking that when you're no longer on your feet, that people are just going to bend over backwards and start taking care of you. That's simply not going to happen, Shanny. That's why the solution to her problems is simple. But Shanny ain't going to do it. Shanny needs to repent, and so does Rev. They both need to repent. They need to own the things that they have done to people. And they need to do a channel tour and do it. Then they might get a couple of people to support them and help them get out of their situation. The problem is that neither one of them are in a place right now. People need to understand this about Shanny and Rev, because this is very true about them. Neither one of them are in a position that if you gave them 20 grand right now, that they would get their own place. No, if you gave them 20 grand right now, they would still live there and they'll smoke it all up. They would stay right where they're at and smoke it all up. You got to wait until they're in a position where they hate their position, because they don't hate their position. They love their position, because when a person hates their position, they will do everything they need to do to get out of that position. So they love what they're presently in right now and where they presently are, because Shanny's probably got it fixated in her mind that they can manipulate the uncle and stay there as long as they want. Because Shanny's a user. Shanny doesn't do nothing for nobody. She's a user. If you listen to her streams, the majority of the time, and mind you, I find Shanny to be insanely boring. I don't know how you guys can sit there for hours and hours and hours and hours to listen to her. After a little bit, I have to find something else to watch. But it's always about her heart and how she feels, and about her heart, and how she feels, and her heart, and about how she feels. That's pretty much Shanny. You heard it one time, you heard it a million times. There's nothing original, and there's nothing creative, and there's nothing new about her. I never thought I'd see the day that Ms. Star has more entertaining content than Shanny. That's right, Shanny. Ms. Star is more entertaining than you. Because you keep getting on here saying the same stuff over and over and over and over and over and over again. No, I'm serious, Isabella. I know it's a low blow, but Miss Star is more entertaining than Shanny. Let me ask you this. When was the last time Shanny was actually entertaining on here? Me and you've been watching her for a while, Isabella. When was the last time somebody said that Shanny was entertaining on here? I ain't talking about the cookie fight. I'm talking about where they wasn't arguing and she was just being genuine and was being entertaining. When was the last time she's put up some entertaining content up here? Woman is boring. I can't stand listening to her voice sometimes. Her superhuman strength. No, I think Shanny just knows how to use her weight. And she's not that far. You got to remember, Shanny's a really, 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 really big girl. So it wouldn't be hard for her to pick up. You guys should have been there when she picked up the pool table. At the house, she picked up the pool table. I'll never forget that. I give Shanny credit for one thing, though. She's strong. She knows how to use her weight. That's for sure. She knows how to use that weight. All 3,000 pounds of it, you know. She knows how to use it. But still to this day, I don't know what possessed this woman to believe that if she didn't bathe, didn't put perfume on, slept in her own urine, never wiped her own behind, and just absolutely was disgusting and thought that, oh my God, I don't even like thinking about it. But and then Rev wants to brag about that. No, G-Man's mad because she didn't want to. Rev, dude, let me just show you this one more time, dude, real quick. I'm just saying, this is just one picture. I can show you all the bags that was in the house, how the backyard looked, and this how disgusting you people are. You know what I mean? And you think I'm jealous of that? Rev, G-Man turns down more pie in a day than you get poutine pie from her in a year. All right? So just stop, okay? I'm not bragging, but you know, ugh. 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 No, I don't think so. No. Anyway, guys, I wanted to make this video and talk about the differences between me and Shanny. I probably did more rambling more than anything else. If you guys want to subscribe, support the channel, subscribe to the channel. I might as well plug my channel in because I don't do this very often on this channel no more. But I might as well. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, guys. Help me get to 3,000 subs, guys, if you can. If you want to donate, the Cash App is Gman3233, whatever, and the Cash App. I have a Venmo too, but I'll put the Venmo information out there another day when I get this. What do you call this thing? The super chats or the I forget what the technical term is or whatever for it. But when I get that stuff taken care of and I get my super chats back, I forget what that paperwork I got to do. What's that called? The AdSense, I think. Yeah, AdSense. I got to take care of that. But if you want to support the channel, you can subscribe. Hey, Shanny, check this out. You're such a movie star and you're such a star on here. I'm impressed with the 1,000 subscribers that you was able to get, Shanny, in a very short period of time. But you're supposed to be this movie star. You're supposed to be up there with like Denzel and like presidents and everything. Why is it that Sowing and Reaping is growing faster than your channel? And Sowing and Reaping is doing better than your channel, Shanny. And you want to know what else I'm going to do? Just to be a jerk. You know what I'm going to do? Everybody keeps telling me, G-Man, you need to get a Amazon wish list. And I happened to take a look at Shanny's Amazon wish list. I don't know when I'm going to do this because I got to learn how to do it first. I think I got to download the app for Amazon. And then when I take the time out to stop being lazy and learn how to do this Amazon wish list, I'm going to put one on here and see if somebody actually get me something I asked for. People hate to watch. People hate watch her. Yeah, I hear you, Jag girl. Oh, man. I'll be cracking up with some of the things that you guys say over there. She unblocked me for some reason, and I was able to leave some comments. I don't know if you guys saw me over there. I told her that I was really hurt about her lying about the death sentence, and she didn't even respond to me. She wanted to pretend like she wasn't looking at it because she don't want to take no accountability for nothing. Sabella, let me see your Amazon wish list. I might get you some of it. Send me a link. I'll take a look at it. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. Shanny, this is my response to your entire community post and those snort comments, those snotty comments that you were making on your channel. And you told me I'm trying to provoke you to provocation and all this other stuff. Honey, I don't have to provoke you to nothing. All I gotta do is get on here and tell the truth. That's it. You can make stuff up, Shanny, and I'll just tell the truth. You get on here lying about having blood clots. You ain't got no blood clots. You ain't got no cancer. You ain't got no borderline personality disorder. You copying other people on YouTube. You're a fraud. You're a scammer. And I ain't paying you no more mind, Shanny. All right? As for your gullible little boy that you call a man, all right? What he needs to do if he wants to start getting some respect on here again is he needs to go get a job and he needs to get away from you. But of course, Rev has said on multiple occasions, he would rather live on the street than get a job. So you want to know what? If that's what you want, Rev, that's what you're going to get. I am not giving you $7 for Tylenol. I think I've done enough of that. I am done being conned by you, Shanny, and I'm done being conned by your man. Now, if William makes a video or Zachary makes a video and they promise me that they don't give it to you, I may actually give them something. But I am not giving you nothing, Shanny, and I'm not giving Rev nothing. Until you two knuckleheads learn how to tell the truth and start owning up to the things that you guys have done. Channel tour style. You owe Dragnet multiple apologies on his platform for calling him the N-word 900 times. You owe Miss Parker an apology for calling her the N-word multiple times. You owe you owe a lot of people apologies on here. Ms. Star, Sabella, me, Carrie, Just Breezing. Who else? Trisha Paytas, Truthfully Trisha, Booty Beauty. You owe everybody an apology. Oh, I'm sorry. Life of a Free Spirit, Irate Alex. See, the difference between me and you, Shanny, is this. I've been in a room with most of those people, not with Foodie Beauty and not with like Trisha Paytas or Truthfully Trisha or anything like that. But I've been in a room with the other people. I took my lumps. I want to know when you're going to take yours. That's all I got to say. Please. And a couple of times, Irate Alex was right about some of the things that he was saying, including Fat Fit Geeky and some of the other people that I called out. So at least I took my lumps. When are you gonna take your lump, Shanny? It's only fair. You claim you change and you want peace. Why don't you put your money where your mouth is and show up on Drag Channel? And you'll make $35. You can buy all the Tylenol you want with that. If he's still willing to be bothered with you, because he seems like he's trying to build his channel to be close to what Nate is or whatever. And Shanny, if you was a movie star that you are, how come you don't got the subscriber count that Drag has? 100,000 subs, or you won't show your face. I guess we never have to worry about looking at your face because you're not even going to get the 5,000, Shanny. You're not even going to get the 5. Not with the attitude that you got on your channel. Hey, what I'm going to do is I'm going to beat them up with the community posts. And then I'm going to get on here and I'm just going to talk about peace, love, and Maranatha while never practicing peace, love, and Maranatha. Give me a break. Anyway, you guys have a good night. You guys enjoy your little Saturday night. I'm going to try to get me some sleep because I got to try to train for my marathon that I'm going to be doing. I'm actually thinking about running the Scranton Marathon, and I think Jersey City is going to have its first ever marathon this summer. So, you know, I'm going to go to the gym, do some running, and try to get myself ready for that stuff. So, we'll see. All right? You guys have a good night. I have no outro for you. But you guys take care. All right. Later.